Hello, good morning, friends. How are y'all doing today? Happy Monday. It is Magical Monday. It is Motivational Monday. I hope you have whatever kind of Monday you need to set yourself up for success this week. I just wanted to shout out another thank you to everybody who stopped by my table on Saturday. It was great seeing y'all, meeting y'all, chatting with y'all, hanging out with y'all, all the things, okay? This coming weekend, I will be at Planchella, okay? So this is gonna be a really fun event, and I'm gonna have a special spread just for Planchella, okay? So definitely stop by. It's gonna be at the same place, all right? The Ruth Butler Building in Escanaba, Michigan, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. this coming Saturday. Anyway, let's dive into our cards, okay? So today's video is going to have yesterday's pull as well as today's pull. And yesterday's pull was the Pluto Retrograde Spread. So let me show you that spread before we dive in. Okay, so here is the spread. Go ahead and screenshot that, save that for later, do whatever you need to do. Okay, so our first prompt is, what old patterns must we revisit in order to move forward? So, hey witch, the patterns that we need to revisit have everything to do with our emotional wellness, okay, and our emotional depth, all right? Are we allowing ourselves to feel as deeply as we need to right now? Because this Pluto retrograde is going to pull up some emotional depth, all right? It's going to pull up a lot of things that maybe we have been kind of running from, especially in the emotional arena, okay? So we can stay aware. We can allow space to feel our feelings. You know, if we have a big feeling coming up, we can make space for that, okay? Alternatively, we can also be honoring the ways in which we have allowed our feelings, okay? If we've been doing that work on ourselves, really doing this emotional work, we can honor that and celebrate ourselves for the work that we've done. Okay, so our second prompt is, what shadow aspects will come up to be worked through and released? And we have the Five of Earth, or the Five of Pentacles here, okay? So the shadow aspects have everything to do with loss, all right? Whether that be a physical loss because of a sickness or an illness, feeling lost in our lives, feeling like we have lost everything and there's no hope of recovery, okay? Those shadow aspects come up so that we can see them and we can work through them. Because as y'all know, I firmly believe that recovery is possible for every single one of us. So we could be examining where we feel hopeless, where we feel lost, where we feel like we will never recover, and start to examine the fullness of recovery that could be there if we were to open ourselves to it and embrace it, instead of trying to hide it away. Okay, so the next prompt is, what changes are we being asked to face head on? So for this one, we have the Daughter of Fire, or the Page of Wands, okay? So for a lot of us, we need to be reborn in the fires of creativity, all right? I get this feeling that some of us have been holding back for some reason. We haven't really been allowing ourselves to express fully our creative energy, that creative fire that lives within us, okay? So we could be looking forward to that kind of changing, that shifting for us, all right? Even if that change is just the fact that we're sick of hiding and we want our art to be seen. Please share your art, yes. Okay, our next prompt is, what knowledge are we missing that we need to know to continue this inner work? For this one, this is more about the knowledge of needing to share, okay? Being able to share our knowledge with others, all right? So this is more about being open. This is more about being open to share with other people, like our own process, our own learning, things like that. So the knowledge that really we are missing is the knowledge of communication and sharing our story with other people. I'm not saying that you have to come on and tell your story to, the public and just kind of, let everybody hear your stuff. This is more about being willing and being open to sharing your story with others who might be going through something very similar. There's a beautiful healing that comes whenever we are able to share our stories and have that story received in such an open and loving way. And it doesn't just help us, it helps other people too. It helps to share the hope, all right? Even if we can't really find the hope in our stories ourselves. Okay, next prompt is, how can we best awaken to a new version of ourselves through this work? No surprise here, we have the Three of Earth, or the Three of Pentacles, so this has everything to do with teamwork, all right? Being able to collaborate with others, and this connects so well to the previous prompt as well. Through sharing our stories, we really do connect deeper with other people. And through that, we are able to hold hands and, kind of walk through this work together. I know that sounds really like kumbaya-ish, but it definitely ends up being that way, whenever we're all navigating this journey together and we realize that we're on a similar path, all right? There's this camaraderie that comes with that. There's this feeling that we're never alone. You know, we are walking this road side by side with other people. And honestly, that's so beautiful. So we can be welcoming people along our journey, all right? That's how we awaken to a new version of ourselves through this work. And our final prompt for the Pluto retrograde spread is a message from Pluto, all right? And we have the Justice card here, all right? So with this message from Pluto, Pluto is saying, take responsibility, okay? If you've gotten a reading from me, you know that I love to refer to both Pluto as well as Saturn as the stern fathers of the zodiac, okay? They're going to wag their finger at us until we do what we're supposed to do, all right? In this situation with Pluto being retrograde, Pluto is here reminding us we have to take responsibility. We have to look at the things that that we have a part in, all right? We cannot ignore what our part was. Through that, we are going to learn how to better balance ourselves, balance our energy, okay? Balance what we are doing in our lives. And with all of that, we're going to become more willing to change. So don't hide away from this, okay? I know Pluto retrograde has us really rethinking things, re-examining things, reclaiming, all right? Especially reclaiming power, you know, and seeing where power truly sits. Step into that for yourself. Reclaim what is rightfully yours, my friend. And remember, this retrograde is going to last until October 13th. And then even after that, we're going to have a bit of a shadow period. So don't worry, we're going to have time to go through all of this. Okay, so then today's prompt from my Frolic in the Light witch prompts is, what luck can we call in now? So we have the 5 of water here, okay, or the 5 of cups, all right? So the luck that we can be calling in right now has everything to do with being able to heal ourselves, okay, being able to take care of ourselves emotionally, you know, and this, of course, connects to the pull from yesterday as well, okay? So really being able to tap into that healing, and that is going to be the luck, okay? So, of course, no surprise here, we're going to have to work for the luck. But this is an opportunity to restore ourselves, okay? Restore our emotions, restore our hearts, all of that. So again, I feel like we are being encouraged to feel our feelings, okay? Even if they are uncomfortable, even if they feel heavy, even if they feel really big, allowing ourselves to feel the feelings until they change or go away. There's luck on the other side of that. There's new levels of intuition on the other side of that. There's new levels of self-awareness and self-acceptance on the other side of that too. So I know this is a really long video. Thank you so much for sticking around for the whole thing. But I want to know how you are going to stay open to what could be some heavy energy coming towards us. And honestly, I'm not surprised, you know, next week we have the full moon in Scorpio. So yeah, all this emotional stuff, yeah, makes sense. Either way, let me know how you are going to stay open to this, all right, in the comments, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, friends.